Hey everybody, it's Carrie Beth and Carter. I wanted to do a new walkthrough. I'm gonna do two walkthroughs actually. This one is gonna just show sort of like the bones of how I've changed up my trailer, and then the next one I'll do it once all my stuff is inside. So for anyone who hasn't seen my other walkthrough, I live in my trailer 6 months out of every year. I work for the National Park Service, and for 6 months out of the year I live in a house, my house, and then the other 6 months out of the year I live in the park out of my trailer. I'm not off grid right now because when I do live in it, I'm at a remote campground, but there is hookup, there is electric and water hookup, so I'm not off grid right now. And yeah, so in my last one I didn't show my pull vehicle because I got the smaller trailer. It's a 6x12. I'm able to pull it with my Ford Ranger. I just have to be careful about how I set it up and making sure there's not too much weight in the back of the trailer. I'm gonna go ahead and just show you what I have. The trailer, if you're worried about the specs of it and stuff like that, are in my other videos. So in the back, before my first, so this is going to be the 4th year. I've been living in it for 3 summers in a row. The first summer I literally just threw stuff in there, my futon from home, like a floor lamp, all that kind of stuff. And then my second year I brought it home and did a little bit of remodel. My 3rd year I just left it up there at a friend's house. And then this summer I was gonna come home and like fine tune. And then, you know, in case anyone doesn't watch this right as I post it, it's the summer or the spring that we're all on lockdown because of the coronavirus. So it just sort of, I was gonna do this project anyway, but it just gave me some more time to sort of get it done along with some other remodeling at my house. So I will go inside and sort of show you the specifics. It's still not completely done, but again, I just kind of wanted to show you what I do. So in the back part here, I built out a frame. My dad and I built out a frame of PVC pipe, and then I bought one of those awning attachment room, you know what I'm talking about, with the screen, like the screened in room that I can put around the sides. And then this is my son's room when he comes up and stays with me over the summer. So sometime over the summer I'll take a video when I hook that up so you can kind of see what I did, because it's really easy. So underneath there you can see the PVC pipe that I have for that. So when you walk in, there's no sort of finishing touches yet, but again, I'll do another walkthrough video after I do that. And I'm not wanting this to be too much like an apartment. Like, it's only meant to be, you know, it's just meant to be camped in. It's for 6 months out of the year, but I don't need it to be like high class finished. So my dad and I built, well, my dad did it, I guess. These shelves, they're just made out of, what are those, like 2x4s? No, they're bigger than that, 2x6s, 2x8s. And it's just like a real rough, shelving unit, but I needed something that, because I wanted to loft my bed. And so on the other side is a set of drawers. It's a dresser that was in my son's room that was extra, and it just happened to be a perfect height for me. And then there's 4 more 4x, I guess those are probably 4x8s. No, 2x8, sorry. That are laying across there for it to go on my bed frame. And then if you watch my first video, I just had a crappy little futon that was in my garage that I had thrown in here. This is the frame of that. My dad and I just like cut it out and put it together. And so that's what this sits on. So that's my bed frame. So it works out that I have a double bed or a full. I don't know which one it is. I think they're the same, but which is perfect. I thought about building out a different frame, but this one is sturdy enough, and because it's aluminum, it's really, really light, and I didn't want to add any more weight to the back end. So in the back end, this is all there is. Originally I had an outlet here, but by the time I put my mattress and my pillows and everything, this was getting in the way. So that's one of the projects I did this winter is I just put a cap over that one. This one is, whatever. One of those is a mistake, but it's fine. It's going to get covered up on my bed. And then my new outlet is up here. And then there'll be like a shelf way up here for me to plug my phone in at night and stuff like that. So, again, I'll show you afterwards sort of how I lay it all out. At the foot of my bed, there's also at least one shelf that goes there. And then I have my television here, and it's on, you know, one of those things you pull out and turn, so I can have it facing towards the kitchen if I'm over this way, or I can have it facing in my bed at night. In this little spot here, there's just like some plastic drawers that I bring inside to my house during the winter. And it's just sort of random odds and ends things. And then this is my pantry slash where I put all my books. Right now it's empty, but again, I just have like cookware, canned goods, dry goods, stuff like that, and then like books on top. And then on this side last year, if I lay out the same way, is where I have my microwave, because I can't have my microwave and some of the other stuff on the same thing. I just thought it would trip it out. So, oh, my toaster. So the microwave I just put on this side. And again, it's 6 by 12. It's only 6 feet across, so it's right next to it. Right here is where I have a couple step ups. I don't really need it, but I have it there in case I need a step stool for something else. I just keep it there to step up into my bed. And then I have a sink here. I opted out of doing some sort of built-in bar sink. It seems like they're just way too small for what I want. I want to be able to, you know, do my laundry in there if I had to. I want to, you know, if I do go off grid at some point, I want to be able to wash my hair, wash, you know, big things, all that kind of stuff. And you can't do that with one of the tiny ones. And again, I didn't want this to be overly finished because I still want it to just be like comfortable kind of camping, but not really. It's way more than camping. But either way, my sink, there's so much junk over there, but my sink is right there. It's just a laundry tub. So that will be put in this place right here. This is something I had that was inside my house back in the day. Then it was outside by my grill. It's very weather worn. It's seen a lot of stuff, but that is where I have like my clean dishes. You know, I have like a draining thing that goes here, a cutting board that goes here. It's where I do all my food prep and everything. And then underneath here, I have a couple shelves for whatever. We'll find out when I do it. And then in here is where I keep just, it's mad dirty right now because I was sanding and staining, but is where I put a couple of forks, couple of knives, couple of spoons, couple of plates. I only do 2 of everything, one for me and one for my son. My fridge is right there. My sister was nice enough to get it for me for Mother's Day the first year that I went. There'll be a bunch of shelves over top, which is where I keep all my kitchen stuff. And then towards the end of it is over my sink is where I kind of do bathroom, like toothbrush, stuff like that. Then the very, very end of it is where sometimes I have stuff for bed. So last year is where I would put like my phone, but I might have another shelf over there, so that might change. Again, I'll show you that when it happens. And then in the nose here is where I'm going to have to kind of think about how I want it to lay out. That's one of the things I haven't sort of figured out yet, but I have a month until I leave. So I got plenty of time to figure out what the layout's going to be. On this side right here, closest to the door, is where I usually have my dog stuff. I have a black lab that stays with me year round. So I usually put winter shoes. When you bring them inside, you have like that plastic, kind of hardish plastic mat. I put one right there just so if he like slobbers when he's drinking, it doesn't get all over my floor. So his food and water is usually there. And then I leave the door open sort of all day, every day, so he can come and go as he pleases. But I do tie him down just because, you know, obviously I don't want him to be able to run off. So he's on a very long leash and can go out all day, every day, inside if it's raining. And I just tie him down because it's a cargo trailer down to the loop there. So his food and water's right there. And then as far as him sleeping, because this is, you know, up so high, I have a real big comfy dog bed that goes right underneath there. So he usually sleeps down there and I'm up there. I thought about maybe letting him, you know, doing stairs and letting him up into my bed this year, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of dog hair in the bed. So that was what our situation was the last couple of years. We'll see if it stays that way. So yeah, so this is sort of bare bones. It's before anything is tied to the wall. Nothing's sort of hooked up yet. Everything's just sitting here, but I just wanted to show sort of what my layout is in case that gives anyone kind of any ideas. The only inconveniences of having it this way is, you know, to get down to the stuff that's over there, I do have to crawl down a little bit to get the stuff that's over here. But all I usually do is, like, at the beginning of the season when it's cold, the warm clothes are here and shorts and stuff, bathing suits are there. When it gets hot out, I switch them. So during the hottest summer months of like June, July, August, if I need a sweatshirt, I do have to like just crawl a little bit and like grab those. No big deal. Same thing over here. I usually put extra dried stuff, coconut. So coconut core for like compost toilet, you know, my extra rolls of whatever, my laundry soap, like anything I don't need very often, I put it over there. So it's not like I have to crawl under there that often. When my son stays with me, he does have to crawl through here or over my bed to get to his room. But that's sort of, he agreed to that setup, so I went with it. And again, he's not with me all 6 months, so it doesn't happen that often. So again, that's it. I just wanted to show the layout. Hopefully that makes sense. From the doorway, this is kind of what it looks like. And if anyone finds that helpful, if anyone has any, you know, suggestions, stuff, let me know. But again, I haven't quite figured out exactly the, you know, shelving and sort of where that's going to go. I have 4 weeks to decide, and then I'll do another video before we take off that shows the end result. So that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks.